The psychology of money at unknown storytellers. Before we start, if this video makes you think differently about money, hit like, drop a comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. It genuinely helps. Now, let's get into it. The real game of money. You think money is about math, numbers, spreadsheets, formulas. It isn't. The real financial decisions in your life, the ones that shape your future, are made around dinner tables, in moments of fear, in arguments driven by ego, in quiet choices shaped by everything that happened to you before you ever earned your first paycheck. Money is not a math problem. It's a human problem. And the reason most people lose at it isn't because they lack intelligence. It's because they don't understand themselves. Chapter 1. Your financial DNA. Here's something nobody tells you. The way you think about money was decided before you were old enough to have any. Two people, same age, same city, same income, can make completely opposite financial decisions. And both of them are being rational. Both of them are doing what makes perfect sense, given what they've lived through. Someone who grew up during high inflation treats money differently than someone who never experienced it. Someone who watched their parents lose everything in a market crash will never fully trust the stock market, no matter what the data says. Someone who grew up watching wealth accumulate quietly will invest differently than someone who grew up watching it disappear. Your financial worldview was handed to you. Your parents shaped it. Your early experiences reinforced it. The economy during your formative years carved it into how you see risk, spending, saving, and opportunity. So the next time someone makes a financial decision that baffles you, remember this. They're not stupid. They're not crazy. They're just operating from a completely different life story than yours. As Morgan Housel puts it, no one is crazy with money. They're just working with the information and experiences they have. Chapter 2. The most powerful force in the universe, Warren Buffett, is worth over $100 billion. What almost no one talks about is when he made it. $81 billion of that came after he turned 65. Not because he suddenly got smarter. Not because markets changed, but because of one force that almost everyone underestimates. Compounding. Here's how it works. You invest $1,000 at 8%. After year 1, you have $1,080. Next year, you earn interest on $1,080. Not just the original 1,000. The year after that, even more. The gains start earning gains, and over decades, the numbers stop looking real. Buffett started investing at age 10. By the time most people were just getting started, he had already been compounding for decades. That head start, not his genius alone, is what built the fortune. Now consider this. Jim Simons, a hedge fund manager who averaged 66% annual returns, never matched Buffett's total wealth, despite earning far higher returns every single year. Why? Because he didn't start until he was 50. Time in the game beats performance in the game. The lesson isn't to be the smartest investor. The lesson is to start early and never stop. Boring, consistent, patient compounding, done for long enough, produces results that feel mathematically impossible, because they almost are. Chapter 3. Why we're wired for pessimism. Quick question. Which headline gets your attention faster? Markets down 40% in 6 months, or wealth quietly doubles over 7 years? You already know the answer. Bad news is loud. Good news is slow. A stock market crash happens over weeks and dominates every conversation. A 140% gain over 6 years happens quietly, in the background, while most people aren't paying attention. Our brains are wired to react to sudden loss far more strongly than gradual gain. It kept our ancestors alive. Ignore the tiger, you die. Miss a good harvest, you survive. But in financial life, this wiring betrays us. It pushes us toward pessimism that feels like wisdom. It makes us sell at the bottom. Sit out recoveries. Believe that this time, it really is different. Here's the antidote. Optimism doesn't mean ignoring risk. It means holding on to one core belief that over time, despite setbacks, despite crashes, despite everything, the odds of a positive outcome are in your favor. History backs that up. Pessimism just sounds smarter in the moment. Chapter 4. Luck, risk, and the story nobody tells. In 1968, roughly 300 million teenagers existed in the world. 300 of them went to a small school in Seattle called Lakeside. Lakeside happened to be the only high school on the planet with access to a sophisticated computer, the kind even graduate students didn't have. One of those 300 students was Bill Gates. 1 in a million. Gates is brilliant. His work ethic is legendary. His vision was extraordinary. But he has said himself, without Lakeside, there is no Microsoft. Now here's the part of that story almost nobody knows. There was a third student whose dad's gifted, just as visionary. Someone who could very easily have been a co-founder of Microsoft. His name was Kent Evans. He died in a mountaineering accident before he ever got the chance. The odds of a high school student dying in a mountaineering accident, 1 in a million. The same statistical rarity that gave Gates his extraordinary luck took everything from Kent Evans. Luck and risk are two sides of the same coin. We celebrate the winners and study their habits and call it insight. But we almost never account for the role of chance, good or bad, in shaping those outcomes. This doesn't mean effort is pointless. It means success deserves a little more humility, and failure deserves a little more compassion, including your own. Follow for next chapter.